Okay. So typically, I have a topic and I start out with something else and then I transition to that topic to sort of build up the momentum to keep the viewer engaged in the entire video. But you've seen the title and the thumbnail, so I'm just going to jump right into this Ashton Jeanty concern. And then we're going to talk about training camp today, Tuesday, August 12th, because there was some positivity that came out of the defensive side of the ball. Because every time we talk about how good the offense is, half the comments are, well, that just means our defense stinks. So we'll talk about the defense winning the day and making some plays. But before all that, here I am again, almost a week after this preseason game, having to talk to people about how this does not matter. Now, luckily, this isn't really a Raider fan specific issue. It's a national media issue. It's a Twitter issue. I don't have Twitter. I don't go on Twitter. You shouldn't either, by the way. But this, it's hurting my brain to even comprehend this. This notion that what we saw out of Ashton Jeanty in that preseason game, which wasn't much, is enough to cause concern about the type of player he is going to make my head explode. And I'm going to start out with this. I see this on CBS Sports, and it's talking about betting on the Rookie of the Year race. Ashton Jeanty odds. Is the Raiders tailback still NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite? After quiet debut, Ashton Jeanty had -1 rushing yards on 3 carries in his preseason debut. So Sportsbook have adjusted his odds, ? Here's what it says. There are many rookies who shined in their first preseason action. And I'm sure they're all going to be stars, right? But Ashton Jeanty was not one of them. The 6th overall pick of the 2025 draft finished with -1 rushing yard on 3 carries. Are the Sportsbooks drastically changing Jeanty's odds after a lackluster performance? The short answer is no, after all. Sportsbooks don't make sudden changes for small sample sizes. Jeanty is still considered the consensus Offensive Rookie of the Year. While Sportsbooks haven't adjusted odds, many sports bettors have shied away from backing Jeanty since his debut. According to ESPN Bet, Jeanty has received only the 9th most Offensive Rookie of the Year bets since Thursday. In the Rookie of the Year market overall, reported Jeanty is still the first ticket, 10.5%. In fact, a different rookie tailback has captured the bettor's attention at ESPN Bet. TreVeyon Henderson, the Patriots speedster, took his first NFL touch to the end zone after returning the opening kickoff 100 yards, which I'm sure will happen many more times. Henderson also had 18 yards on his only carry. Wow. And caught 3 balls for 12 yards on Friday. Obviously, the Raiders will need more from Jeanty during the regular season, but the former Boise State star will need better results to contend for the award. But for now, there doesn't seem to be any reason to raise alarm just yet. And I've seen more videos like this, all of them saying the same thing. Guys, don't worry. He'll be fine. It's the preseason. My question to people watching, and maybe I'm just a lunatic, okay? Maybe I'm crazy. Why is there the need to even make this video? Why do people feel like they need to say, guys, the preseason doesn't matter? It's okay. I know he had a -1 yard, but I'm sure he's going to be just fine. Have we regressed as human beings that people who make videos feel the need to have to tell people that what he did in the preseason, in one game, in one drive, is not indicative of what he's going to be? When we drafted him, people were saying Barry Sanders 2.0, and he had one preseason game where the offensive line sucked, and now we're not betting on him to win Rookie of the Year. It's TreVeyon Henderson, and he's not the best running back to come out of Boise State. And if there's anybody out there who is not yet on the same wavelength as me, number one, I think people watching my videos, my subscribers, and if you're not one of them, you better be, because we're so close to 14,000 before the new league year. I didn't think that would be possible. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps a lot. Hit likes, hit comments, all that stuff. If you're out there and you're concerned about this, again, I don't feel like I should be giving this the time of the day, but if you are concerned about this, I would like to show you something that I've curated here, a little bit of research that I've done. Okay? So let's check this out here. Let me make the transition. Here is some of notable rookies that had high hopes that performed pretty poorly in the preseason. CJ Stroud. We would all take CJ Stroud right now, right? If I said, hey, would you rather just trade Geno Smith for CJ Stroud straight up? I think everybody on the planet who roots for the Raiders would say, yeah, I'll take him. His preseason debut, here's a stat line. 2 for 4, 13 yards, 1 pick, 1 sack. 2 series versus the 2023 Patriots. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he made the Pro Bowl. Jamar Chase. You know, we'll circle back to Jamar Chase. Devontae Smith, 2021. 2 catches for 19 yards, several drops, again, versus the Patriots. Became a 1,000-yard receiver and went to multiple Super Bowls. Jalen Waddle, 0 targets on over 19 snaps versus the Bears. We know how he is. Chris Olave, 1 catch for 4 yards. Breece Hall, 4 rushes for 1 yard. That's what some of these guys did over the last 5 years. All of these guys are studs on offense. Now, Jamar Chase is the craziest example because I didn't even remember this until I started doing the research on this. He had multiple drops and he had limited impact in the entire preseason. Obviously, he's probably the best receiver in the league. Him or Justin Jefferson became Rookie of the Year. Now, the reason I bring this up is because, do you guys remember this? Jamar Chase coming into the league, everyone was like freaking out because he couldn't catch the football. Jamar Chase says lack of concentration led to drops. I know I left a lot of stuff out there. And if we go down to the bottom here, it says, I don't want to blame it on me sitting on my butt the whole year, but it probably has something to do with it, of course. He said of his opt-out. Despite the struggles, the Bengals staff consistently backed Chase, suggesting they still expect the rookie to play a significant role in the wide receiving core. It's easy to believe that Chase is going through rookie struggles after a year off, rather than somehow he just forgot to catch football. Guys, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but can we just stop with the hyperbolic, Ashton's a bust, we're going to lose every game, blah, 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 blah. Now, I know I made a video that said, are they playing bad on purpose, ? And that's just me playing the YouTube game. But I think a lot of people who question that title didn't watch the video. And what I said was, and what a lot of insiders are saying is, the Raiders have a lot that they are holding close to the vest, more than particular. Because now I got a lot of comments on that video that said, newsflash, buddy, everybody hides their playbook and keeps it a secret. Apparently, what the Raiders have planned with Chip Kelly is so complex and so creative that they don't want to show anything. And I don't know if I used this example in that last video, but I'm going to use it here. It's as if they are playing 5-on-5 basketball and they're just running pick and rolls and ISOs. Everything is mano-y-mano, slants, runs up the middle, and draw plays and screens. And if I mentioned this in my last video, if you watch the Bears and the Dolphins preseason game, Mike McDaniel was running his offense. He was running motions. He was running fake handoff, reverse, backward pass, all this nonsense. He was running in the preseason. So for us to just run ISO ball and for Ashton Jeanty to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and I'm supposed to sit here and talk people off the ledge like people on Bleacher Report are doing, I saw somebody say, guys, Raider fans, don't panic. Don't panic. Who's panicking? If somebody's watching this that is panicking about Ashton Jeanty, I think you need to seriously consider different life choices or going to a therapist or something. Now, if you're panicking about the defense or how the offensive line looked, there's an argument to be made about that. But if you're concerned about Ashton Jeanty's performance in the preseason, in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, then you are lost. I don't know what else to tell you. And all these videos that are being posted saying Ashton's fine is making me angry because nobody is worried about Ashton. And if you are worried about Ashton, refer to the table that I just showed you. So that was my 10-minute rant on people calling Ashton Jeanty a bust. I would like to shout out at this moment before I get into training camp my patrons and YouTube members. I've been telling you this for a little bit. You can join Patreon to get all these cool benefits for the channel. You can now join the YouTube channel as a YouTube member. I'm holding a giveaway that's going to last up until week 1. One random new member is going to win $100 completely randomly. I'm just going to pick it random if you join before the new league year on YouTube members. That's all you got to do. Hit that like button, leave comments. Let's read a little bit about training camp 8-12. Devin White, Raiders defense wins the day. Oh, so now does the offense suck? Because every time I talk about the offense playing well, it's just going up against a bad defense. Because last year, our defense was dominating, and we were like, oh, we're going to have a pretty good defense. Everyone's like, oh, maybe the offense just sucks. A little bit of both. Defense is good. Offense sucked. Offense usually wins the days. Now the defense wins the days. So let's see what people say in the comments about this. And this is Levi Edwards, our guy. Offensively, JPJ returned to practice after missing a team period on Sunday due to a rib injury per head coach Pete Carroll. Powers Johnson stepped back into the first team reps at guard, with Antonio Mafi still getting sprinkled in. Alex Kappa is still not practicing due to injury. Brock Bowers once again stole the show. I cannot wait to watch this guy, reeling in at least 4 passes from Geno Smith. Wide receiver Trey Tucker also saw a high volume of reps for a third straight practice. And I got to tell you guys, I'm starting to believe that Trey Tucker is not just going to let Dante Thornton come in here and immediately take all his reps and steal the thunder. Like, I think Dante Thornton's going to have a big year, but I think Trey Tucker is going to surprise a lot of people. And if I could just show you this here, this is Tyreek Hill's stats. Now, obviously, Trey Tucker's been in the league 2 years already, but in 2016, I believe with Alex Smith as the Chiefs quarterback, correct me if I'm wrong, Tyreek Hill had 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. And then the next year he exploded. Trey Tucker, with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, has been hovering around. This is basically his stat line last year minus the touchdowns. I think he had like 3 touchdowns last year. I think he can make a massive leap now with Geno Smith, one of the best play-action pass quarterbacks in the league, although we don't have a quarterback now that Ashton Jeanty's a bust, or don't have a running back, don't have a running game. And Geno Smith is also one of, if not the best deep ball throwers in the league. There's going to be a lot of speed out there, and I'm telling you guys, I'm pretty confident in saying that our offense is going to be locked top 10. If our offensive line is just average, which I think it's going to be, our offense is going to be locked top 10. It's going to come down to the defense, but apparently they won the day today. Let's talk about the defense. Safety Jeremy Chinn brought the physicality to practice, making defensive stops while stepping up in the box. The offense started the team periods focusing on the running the ball, and Chinn and the rest of the front seven seemingly snuffed out each handoff with ease. A lot of people off the bat, they think he's more of quiet and reserved. He is, Chris Smith said of Jeremy Chinn. But when it's time to talk and to lead, he definitely doesn't miss the opportunity to get his point across. Helps out where he sees fit. And then when he goes out there, he does it himself. Linebacker Devin White came away with 2 interceptions. The first team period as Max Crosby pressured Smith into making an errant throw, and the second on 7-on-7 drills as a pass was tipped up in the air like a center fielder in baseball. White tracked the ball and reeled in the catch. A third interception from the Raiders defense came from Caillou Blue Kelly. This was against Aiden O'Connell. It's also worth mentioning he was sprinkled in with the first team for a handful of reps. I like that a lot. Special teams. Trey Tucker handled the majority of kicks and punt returns with Ashton Jeanty once again stepping in for a few snaps. I think that might be something they unleash. On kick coverage, the usual suspects continued to be D-Cam, Chris Smith, Laube, and Amari Gaynor. And that's it. So, look, the defense won the day. I like what I'm hearing out of Kelly, I like what I'm seeing out of what training camp is showing us with Kelly, Jeremy Chinn, Devin White. This next few days is going to be interesting because it's going to be the joint practice. Now, they're not hitting. They're not using pads. So we're going to have to take a lot of this with a grain of salt. It's going to be a lot of information that I think we can garner off of how our corners play against Pearsall and Kittle and how our wide receivers stack up against the defensive backs of the 49ers. I think that's the main takeaway we're going to get from that. And then I'm imagining that the 49ers and the Raiders are going to play both their starters through the whole first half, at least. I think the 49ers need to figure out who they're going to have at wide receiver too, because Jawan Jennings and Ayuk are both out. And they've got other backups that are going to be injured as well. And I do think you're going to see a little bit of CMC, but probably more Garendo, a little bit of George Kittle, but probably more their backups. But you're going to see Brock Purdy a lot in that game. He played a lot against us in our third preseason game. We actually picked him off. And then I think you're going to see our starters, all of them, for 2 whole quarters. And again, knock on wood for no injuries. But we're going to see a little bit more. And if Ashton Jeanty has 10 carries for 9 yards and a fumble, I'll come on here and say that's concerning. I think he's going to look better. I think the offense is going to look better. I think they're going to get into a better rhythm. And I think all the hyperbolic doomsday prep that we're doing right now is going to be the complete opposite. I think we're going to look pretty good, and people are going to go, this team is going to be pretty good. So that's going to be it for me here, a tight 16 minutes. Like I said before, if you join the Patreon, it's a little bit cheaper than if you join my YouTube membership. But if you join that YouTube membership up until September 7th, that first game, you have a chance to win $100. I don't know if I ran a sponsorship ad in this video. I don't think I did, but I'm going to have one coming up here. It's a nice one. It's interesting. And then during the season, I think we're going to have a pretty big one. I'll just tease that. I'm not positive, but I think it might be coming to pass. Hit that like button, comment away, and please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.